All right, guys, we're live. Guys, what is going on? This is the Club with the Man 1993 coming at you for a late night review of Monday Night Raw, the April 2nd, 2018 edition of Raw, and the go home show, or the go home edition of Monday Night Raw for WrestleMania 34, which is now technically 5 days away since we are in Tuesday morning now. We're that many days away from WrestleMania 34. And so we're expecting now. Again, I apologize. This review is coming late. Hey, what's up, TN Couponer? I said before, this week's going to be one of the busier weeks again. April's going to be just a crazy month altogether. But I was out visiting some friends tonight, and I had a couple meetings today also, so that's why this review is coming late. I was catching up on the highlights when I got home, so I'm going to get this review out of the way. I'm not going to piss around. Just get this out of the way and just move on from there. Yes, I did the same thing too, TN Couponer. But overall, for a go-home show before WrestleMania of Raw, wasn't a terrible show, but I definitely expected better. I felt personally last week's episode of Raw probably would have been a better go-home show than this week's, in my opinion. This week's wasn't terrible, but it was more so like average to decent. It felt like that show that you would expect to get like a little bit like a filler show. If it was 2 weeks out of WrestleMania, I'm like, okay, I can see this happening there. But I expected a little bit more. At least I will say, wasn't the strongest final segment, but thank God. I'll get down and say thank you to God right now. Thank you for no Tug of War 2.0. Definitely. But yeah, guys, first off, again, hope you all had a good Easter. Also, I had despite a couple little trips here and there with other things happened during the Easter holiday. My holiday went pretty darn well. I hope yours did. You guys had a good one as well. We have Robbie in the live chat. He says, I just have one question to ask. Who wants to write with Robbie? Yeah, who does want to write Robbie? I'll write with Robbie. I'm sure T and Coupon want to write with Robbie as well, which he said he does. Yes, as always, hashtag please sign Robbie. Robbie, thanks for joining me live also in the stream as well. But anyway, so we do have some things to talk about definitely in this review. So let's get right into them and let's see what happens. So first, we started off with the coach, Jonathan Coachman himself, in the ring, around a bunch of empty tables, saying that he is he's going to start with the in-ring face-off tonight with Angle and Rousey and Stephanie and Triple H. And they come out, they take their seats, and at first, Coach says that the WWE Universe has submitted questions by social media, but Triple H just cuts him off and asks Kurt that it's a shame that all these people chant Ronda Rousey. It's unfortunate because they want to like her, but that defending Roar will become silence after Sunday because of Angle. Intensity, integrity, intelligence. He's a 6-time champion, a Hall of Famer, and Olympic gold medalist. But the 3 I's, he's never disagreed with the first 2, but he never understood the intelligence part. That's a prime example. Triple H continues, and Ronda is the biggest signing in WWE history, and Kurt ruined it and set her up for embarrassment at WrestleMania, and he has to know why. Angle starts to to state his answer, but then Ronda cuts him off and asks why Triple H would be so two-faced as to sign her with ulterior motives. And Stephanie asks Coach to excuse Ronda because she doesn't really understand the formula yet, but they'll polish her back up after they beat her at WrestleMania. Rousey says she understands the format. It's a Q&A, and she wants an answer. Stephanie says they signed her because she's a huge star, and this crowd cheering for her is a testament to that. They do what's best for business, you see. Angle works for them. He has already derailed Ronda's career and cost her millions of dollars. They both work for her, and means she asks the questions like, who the hell do you think you are? Which Angle takes, says she's Ronda freaking Rousey, an Olympic gold medalist. Not gold, just an Olympic medalist, a UFC champion. And Sunday she's going to make Stephanie tap out. Coach tries to defuse the situation, but Hunter asks what makes Kurt so confident. He knows who Ronda is. UFC built entire divisions just for her, and he gets it. But in WWE, that means exactly nothing, which is pretty much true. The storyline, going into, can Ronda Rousey, compete with people who compete with in the WWE ring under that philosophy and whatnot. Because of course, taking a step out for a second, I keep referring back to an interview with Chris Jericho inside the ropes. He mentioned how WWE is not just a wrestling show. It's it's a drama with wrestling as the background. So Ronda can definitely wrestle. Ronda can definitely wrestle, but can she play? Can she handle what really goes on inside the ring in the company? And it's not exactly UFC. Ronda's been dreaming of WWE her whole life, but to him and his wife, it is their entire life from beginning to end. You want to know why he's so calm, because in this ring, they know the rules and Ronda has no idea what's going to happen. There's a massive learning curve, and they make the rules. It's a foregone conclusion. Coach finally gets to the first question, which is how important is it to win? And if you do, how will it impact the future of WWE? And Steph says it's not if, but when, and it's important to them to show the locker room if they rise up, their bosses will bite the head off the snake and shut them down. Angle is asked about teaming with Ronda and says she's the baddest woman on the planet, and again says she'll prove it by making Stephanie tap out. One last question, final thoughts. Steph answers first, reminding Ronda that she chose this path and it's all on her. She's going to lose at WrestleMania, and her very first loss is going to be Stephanie McMahon, and the world knows how she handles losses, which I like this because it's referring back to whenever in that video package a couple weeks ago where Ronda admits how it really bothered her when she finally suffered a couple losses in UFC, and now she's starting her fresh new career. So how's she going to be able to handle when she loses to Stephanie? Which I did like that line right there. Ronda asks Stephanie if she's right or left-handed, and she says I'm right-handed. And Ronda, she botched this line, but she's pretty much wanted to tell her that she wants to make sure she can still write her checks after she rips it off, but she did kind of screw up the ending a little bit, which definitely did make her look good. Well, with that probably did hurt a little bit, but I think she'll be okay and recover from it. That was definitely a botch. And then the coach gets them to stand up for a face-off photo opportunity and to shake hands, just like they do, pretty much like they do in UFC. But Ronda doesn't take Stephanie's. Kurt and Triple H shake hands, but Stephanie and Ronda, Ronda doesn't accept Stephanie's handshake. And she gets right in the face of Stephanie and won't let her get past her. As Ronda's shown, this woman legitimately means business and she's not afraid of anything. And Triple H grabs a microphone and like he's all been doing nothing but just cheap shotting Kurt this whole time. He just hits him with the microphone, with the mic, and then Ronda puts her hand on Triple H, and then Stephanie grabs Ronda and she throws Ronda through a table with a nice looking suplex. And then of course Triple H and Stephanie stand tall and they leave in a celebratory move because they think he's got the upper hand, which I like that Stephanie and Triple H got the upper hand on Rousey and Angle tonight, because I was worried at first because with the segments they've had so far, it was reminding me a lot of the build between Triple H and Sting. It seemed like that Sting just got the upper hand on Triple H every single time, and still to this day, despite the match being great, Sting should have won that match. I do not understand why he lost to Triple H for that match, but I think this does allow us to put some doubt in there. Like, is Ronda really ready? Yes, she screwed up the line, but it plays also how Stephanie got the upper hand on Ronda. Will this, build some doubt that maybe Ronda may not be ready for it? I personally think, Ronda has to. This match, I'm glad that this is a mixed tag match. Kurt and Triple H, yeah, they're having their storyline resolved, but their story, if it was just Kurt and Triple H at WrestleMania, I feel that it would be kind of weak, because basically Triple H is just saying he just thinks Kurt's stupid, pretty much. That's why he's giving me these really dull-looking cheap shots and all that. And then, of course, there's tension with Ronda and Stephanie. And, I've mentioned before how, the biggest problem I have with the Stephanie McMahon character is the fact that Stephanie is someone who always gives she always just obliterates all these superstars left and right. But how many of them actually do get their comeuppance on Stephanie? And it just like puts that other superstar, but makes Stephanie just look like she's like some like like the most dominating woman in the company altogether. Well, it was like don't we get tired of seeing that all the time? And I think but this feud with Ronda is definitely made it interesting, whatnot. So I still like to see Stephanie. I mean Kurt and Ronda win on Sunday at WrestleMania just to prove it. And I think Ronda just has to get on a winning streak, because I think there's no better way to make her a bigger star than to kind of build her up and then have her face off against Asuka, so that way you can have her at WrestleMania 35 next year. That way you have the two dominating stars. As he's saying, we had to make that first loss for Asuka look like it means something, because that's we'll get to. I'm so tired. I'm sorry, guys. Brain fart tonight. Sorry, I'm tired. Just had a crazy week. But yeah, what I'm basically saying is, when Asuka is definitely not losing this year, definitely lose at WrestleMania, and she's going to stay undefeated till WrestleMania 35. Like down at NXT, they made a win. Asuka made her winning feel important, and they need to find that person who's going to be a legitimate threat for Asuka, and that threat can very well be Ronda Rousey, which is why I'm glad they're both probably going to be on separate brands. That way, they will come full circle with each other at WrestleMania next year. They'll cross the paths. Like Asuka being Charlotte should feel the same way as it did when Asuka defeated Bayley at TakeOver Dallas. Asuka wants to prove that she really is the best, and she wants to beat the best, which the best, of course, on the main roster is no doubt about Charlotte. So that's the case, and then somebody else is going to come along, and Ember Moon may not have won the feud, and may not beat Asuka, but she came out looking like she could have beat her. And Ronda Rousey is going to do the same thing, except Ronda Rousey is going to be the one to eventually end the streak next year at WrestleMania, which is why not make it the main event at WrestleMania 35 next year? Just my honest opinion, and shout out to my friend Daniel Gaiza, who again first pitched that idea to me. I think it's a great idea. Let's see, anybody in the live chat at all? Let's see here. Let's move up here. Robbie says, "Hey Mike, can you do me a favor and please remind me who's a genius?" Let me see here. Robbie, you're a genius. That's why you're a genius, Robbie. That's why I like you. TN Couponer, you're a genius, my friend. That's why I like you. I mean, I can say I'm a genius for all I care, but I don't want to be a bragger or whatnot, but we're all freaking geniuses. That's why we all like each other, and we all understand how we feel about about why the creative team sucks for WWE. Oh man, but sorry, Masana, I'm just really tired, guys. But yes, Elias versus Kid Rock at Mania. Hopefully, Elias, with him saying he's probably going to have a musical segment, hopefully somebody else shows up as well, because Elias and somebody else was a little bit of doing a little bit like a promo battle at WrestleMania 34. I think it's going to be pretty awesome when that happens, so I hope it does. What if The Rock sings with Elias? Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. The Rock and Elias. I would love that. Even Sacramento, there I go. Good one. Do any of you see the Alexa Nia feud being like the movie Mean Girls? I have never seen Mean Girls, so I mean, it's not going to be anything too spectacular. The match itself, I mean, the storyline has been, somewhat intriguing again. I just still don't like how they pretty much just gave Nia a title shot after losing all those opportunities. They still gave her a title shot because Alexa was mean to her. But other than that, I mean, I never really told her a problem with the bill for that feud. After Lesnar leaves WWE, could Heyman manage Ronda? She possibly could if he wants to stick around. Also, I don't want to see Paul Heyman leave so badly. I don't want him to see him leave. By the way, the church I went to Saturday night for Easter Vigil Mass, the deacon at that church reminds me so much of Paul Heyman. Every time I see him, I want to say, "Oh, hey, what's up, Paul Heyman?" But I don't. But yeah, I just had to get that out there really quickly. He reminds me so much of Heyman. As much as I love some of the talent, no more Absolution, no more Riot Squad. Absolution again. I will only keep Absolution if Paige is going to ever be cleared to compete again. That's the only reason why I wouldn't mind Absolution staying together. Riot Squad, split them up. Just please split them up. Robbie and Mike, remember Mickey James versus Lay Cool with Piggy James? Don't remind me. That was terrible. Yes, see that, Robbie. I hate the whole Piggy James story. We all did too. Did you notice that they aired the promo for Daniel Bryan's match while Triple H and Stephanie were leaving? Yeah, I saw. I mean, well, I didn't get to see that, but it is on my list. They did do like a promo for that match, but I didn't get to really see it. Will Shane be there to be Daniel's partner? As of now, as of now, it still sounds like Shane may be ready. We'll find out on SmackDown, or maybe they'll pull Swerve and saying that he's not going to be ready, because we are at least going to be getting some, or are going to be, or maybe could be getting more surprises for WrestleMania this year. We're probably going to be having two at least, Strowman's tag team partner and maybe Taker showing up. But I do like that they are leaving some surprises as well. Yes, we are all geniuses. Guys, just realized Asuka and Charlotte are going to face off in the mixed match challenge. Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing I was kind of bothered about, because I thought at first, I heard a rumor at first that last week the reason why they were going to have Charlotte be replaced in the mixed match challenge was because they didn't want to give away her and Asuka, which is why they had Becky. But then I heard it was only because Charlotte apparently had some dental surgery or something like that, or some dental work done that week, so she need like a week off or something like that. But I do agree, I don't like how they're gonna have them like go at it inside the mixed match challenge. All right, that's gonna definitely kind of water down the match a little bit. I definitely do agree that kind of does bother me. But mixed match challenge has been all right, been somewhat entertaining, but not really that great. It still feels like there's a bunch of mixed tag matches we would get on Raw or SmackDown. I mean, we've had some entertaining moments. But yeah, the mixed match challenge has been, whatever. This Miz and Asuka are probably going to win, but I don't like how also we're going to getting Asuka and Charlotte kind of facing off already. I definitely agree with that, Robbie. But yeah, we had the promo for the Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus KO and Sami Zayn match. Then we have Kurt Angle says he will have his hands full of trying to stop Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar from tearing each other apart tonight. And also they hyped up John Cena's appearance, hopefully getting an answer from The Undertaker. We had a match. It was Bayley taking on Sonya Deville. Bayley won with a folding press roll, but whatever the heck you want to call it. Again, I still just don't see much in Sonya Deville yet. I mean, she may have potential. I know she has a whole MMA gimmick, but to me, it just looks like she's in like a weak-looking like sparring match. And every time I see her wrestling, I mean, it's just like, what does she really do besides just like throw an occasional kick in or a punch? It's like it feels like just someone you see when she wrestles with someone on the street and be like, come on, put him up. Who? Like it just looks like she's more so sparring than wrestling, and it just doesn't quite mesh together. Like Mandy Rose at least has like wrestling technique and the look, like that whole. Even though it was like definitely not a favorite to win, but the Rose Gold team for the mixed match challenge, I feel, did kind of gain some attention for Mandy Rose. It's obvious that she is more of an attraction rather than like a great wrestler. I mean, she may very well, because I keep saying this. A couple weeks ago, I found this because I do follow this channel on YouTube called It's a Shoot, and they post like small portions of like interviews, and one of them, Triple H was talking about how he feels that Elias was somebody who was not meant for NXT but meant for like the main roster, which obviously his characters. I mean, as a wrestler, Elias is fine, but as a character, he thrives a ton up on the main roster, and I wonder maybe if they just see the same thing with Mandy Rose. Like that kind of got me thinking a little bit, okay, maybe that's why some of these guys, like, there's rumors that no way Jose is going to be getting called up. And he hasn't really been used that much on NXT since the SummerSlam weekend last year. So I'm wondering maybe like if Triple H feels that way about him, but I definitely see the potential in Mandy Rose. Sonya Deville is I just think she needs to, they need to polish her up or something like that, because she just still is. I don't know, just, she's not really doing it for me right now. Mandy Rose Lee's intrigues me a little bit, but as Robbie said, no more Absolution, no more Rival. Again, Absolution, I will only accept to continue being a team if Paige is able to wrestle. But if she's not going to be able to wrestle, split them and maybe send them back to NXT. It's especially Sonya, and now she could be the next Dana Brooke. But after the match, though, Mandy and Sonya start attacking Bayley, and then Sasha Banks for some reason comes out to make the save. And then when they cleared him out of the ring, Sasha's asking Bayley to raise her hand, but Bayley isn't going to be having any of it. And she's just, and again, this whole thing, like, it seemed like, there's no clear direction of, like, it just feels like, if it was supposed to be, just the whole thing, just saying, oh, this is for the Women's Battle Royal, you throw people over the top rope, but they're still treating this, even though there was that true heat, like, to a level where one of them should turn heel in this build. They're treating it somewhere like it's just two baby faces that they're just, imploding on each other for, this Battle Royale. Because, this was supposed to be a WrestleMania match, apparently, but with Bayley and Sasha getting that heat for questioning the creative, for, why are you doing this with our feud? Look what happened to them. Now they're in a Women's Battle Royale, and it's being treated like, it's a typical, a match with two baby faces involved in it as well, when this feud could have been just so much more. Rumors have it, they were going to be going with Bayley turning heel, because they were going to have a mixed tag match at the Madison Square Garden special, with Cena and Nikki taking on the team of Elias and Bayley. But with that happening, they pulled that. I still keep saying, I still think Sasha, though, in this situation right now, should be the one to turn heel, because I feel like she's pretty much the Dean Ambrose of the women's division. Like, both of them are just like, they have not, their characters are dead as baby faces, and they need big time refreshers by being heels. Like, Dean Ambrose needs to bring out, the Jon Moxley in him as a heel. Sasha Banks needs to be like, like the boss she was down in NXT, like that heel gimmick. She didn't really have much of a chance to really, show that off much when she first came up. It was with Team Bad. So I think that, they should have gone with Sasha. But again, I'm not fully opposed to the Bayley heel turn, but something else just needed to happen with this. It's just feel like this feud just, like, it was intriguing, but you gotta be careful until it ends up like, like the Fashion Files. Like, it went on and on and on. The same thing happened before you just didn't care anymore. That's what happened to the Fashion Files, and the same thing just happened here. I still care about Bayley and Sasha. I'm wondering going to do something with this after WrestleMania. I haven't given up completely on it yet, but something should definitely happen. Like, one of them should have definitely fully turned, and not keep this whole typical baby face thing as usual. But yeah, we had that happen. And then Absolution still beat them down. Let's see here. Let's go here. Guys, what does Shane turn on Daniel Bryan at Mania? Is that possible? I still think it is possible for either Shane to turn on Daniel, or even Daniel to even turn on Shane. I still don't think they need to turn Daniel Bryan heel right now, because him coming back is too hot. If they want to explore a heel Daniel Bryan, wait until the crowd cools on him. I still feel. Shane could be the one to turn heel on Daniel Bryan for just being jealous of him, but I don't see it happening, because I feel like they were able to fold this, like, let the story just come together. First starting with Shane McMahon making the announcement at WrestleMania, but now he's taking a leave of absence, admitting that yes, even though we're supposed to be hating Kevin Owens, because as I said in my video I did towards the end of last year about the whole fact that it seems to me that even though Shane McMahon is a babyface, he's still somewhat playing that heel character, because he's trying to put over the heel, the ones who people do want to see get over, like AJ Styles, Kevin Owens. I think a few other situations as well, where it felt like Shane was more so of a heel than a face, but he was helping us, the star who needed to get over, and him and Daniel Bryan were still teasing tension between each other, but it was still like that baby face teasing, they expressed each other, but 1 week there'd be like teasing heel tension and baby face tension. So I do feel things came together with Shane admitting what he did, that he had been wrongfully treating KO and Sammy, but Daniel admitted as well, that he saw himself through Daniel, and he felt he owed them a lot, and pretty much Owens and Zayn, yes, did win the battle pretty much, but then they started the war by still, just feeling the need to attack like, authority for having, for just getting after they even got what they wanted. And Daniel Bryan, felt betrayed. Also, he did all of that for him, and then he just did things just to help them, and they just stabbed him in the back also. So it makes sense why it all came full circle. But do I see either one of them turning on each other? I still think it is possible, but we'll have to see what happens. For that match, we'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow night on SmackDown. Gargano and Ciampa 5 days away, guys. I cannot wait. I'm going to do live. I mean, I'm going to be watching Takeover alone, but I will do live reactions for that match on Saturday, the unsanctioned match. Hopefully, it's the main event. We'll talk about that later on this week. Also, that'll be a match of the match of the year candidate. Better main event Takeover. I say. Well, I'm still thinking though, it's not going to be like an official match. In my opinion, I still think something's going to happen to make Ciampa still look strong, leading to the even bigger match at Takeover Chicago, because I really feel like they need to do something at Takeover Chicago, because that's again where the turn happens. That's where I think Johnny will officially get his full revenge on Ciampa. And after that, I don't know what direction they're going to go with them after that, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But that's what I think should happen at Takeover New Orleans. At least set something up for Takeover Chicago to have Johnny get his full revenge on Tommaso. But we will see what happens. Yes, definitely great heel work from Sasha tonight. Sasha is definitely better as a heel. What if you could buy Absolution and the Riot Squad together? Paige managed him. Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought. I was hoping they would go with, whenever, both of these squads, debut, and what this is, the Riot Squad we're just like, the three doing, Paige's dirty work on the SmackDown roster. But no, again, they just brought them up for no reason. And as I said, the week before Fastlane, Road Dogs were like, oh, I know why we can say they were here, even though their mission failed because they wanted to, take out Charlotte. Which again, I kept saying Ruby Riott did not have the resume to really, have us take her seriously to do that. So, yeah, the Riot Squad just needs to split. The Riot Squad's dead, period. Kiki Barnes says, keep Ruby, Mandy, and Sonya, then Paige managed them. We could do that. We should have had Sasha versus Bayley at WrestleMania. One should be turning heel. I agree. Those ugly word graphics need to be deleted. Don't get me started on them. I don't want to rant about those. I'm done with them. Those graphics remind me of the old Batman show when someone threw a punch and graphics said "pow." Exactly. This isn't like a comic book show we're talking about here. When someone threw I hope Daniel calls him Tomas Sempa during live reactions. Dan's not going to be with me. I'm not watching. I was going to get together with the guys on Saturday to watch Takeover, but I have something else going on during the day on Saturday, and I'm not 100% sure I was going to be making it back in time to be able to host them here. So I'm going to be watching Takeover by myself, and then we're all getting together at Dan's to watch WrestleMania on Sunday. But yeah, good stuff, guys. As always, I'm going to keep going here. And then we had that. Then we had we also announced, I forgot to mention this last week also, but congratulations also to The Miz and Maurice for giving birth to their first child last week, Monroe Sky Mizanin. So congratulations to him and Maurice. And then we had a match involving his match at WrestleMania. Miz was on commentary. But we had this match. It was probably the best match of the night because there was a lot more so segments on this show hyping up WrestleMania. But it was Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. These guys, I thought, put together another good match. At first, when I heard that this match was happening again, I'm like, oh, we're going to be doing, how many more times are we going to be doing this match? Because I still think that, even though Seth Rollins, he won this match, but he's the one been picking up more victories than Finn Balor. I still want to stick to my prediction and say I would like to see Seth Rollins win the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania, or if he doesn't win the title, at least do something to help, prevent Finn from winning it. I feel like, the story was somewhat told here, where I like the spot where Rollins almost hit Balor with that buckle bomber onto the same barricade in the same spot where Balor hurt his shoulder. And they seem to be still bringing up the SummerSlam thing. So I still think that whether Rollins wins the Intercontinental title or not, both of them should be going to SmackDown after after WrestleMania and feud with each other. I still would like to see it. I think, like, if anything, Finn should, like, need a little bit of a refresher. I mean, want to turn heel and have, since he has the Balor Club with him also, and heat them back up again and, like, get them back to the level they were when they were with AJ Styles, because I feel like the story is just building there for these two to have, like, another feud together, and it could at least help heat Balor back up over the summer, and maybe he could be the one to take the Universal title off of Roman Reigns by the end of the summer. Or I even thought of this idea, like, since Dean Ambrose is not going to be back probably until like August right before SummerSlam, like, if they want to make this eventually into a Shield and Balor Club feud with, like, a good, like, strong heated up like Balor Club. Like, they had a match earlier in the year, which wasn't too bad. I was glad to see the Balor Club get the win, but I feel like with them, like, in a more stable direction, have that happen. And what if they have a match at SummerSlam where it's kind of like that match at Backlash in 2009 with Legacy taking on Orton. I mean, Legacy taking on Triple H, Shane, and Batista, and having Dean Ambrose turn heel in that match and either cost Roman the title or make that moment of truth where whoever gets the winning pin will become champion. And what if Ambrose either costs Roman the title or he turns heel and he takes the pin instead to make him the champion? Because I still think, well, again, I still wanted to really see that Rollins and Ambrose roles reverse feud. We're probably gonna get that at WrestleMania until Ambrose got hurt. But I still think I still want to see also the Reigns and Ambrose feud also, and that could be a good feud for the summer. I mean, if Rollins does go to SmackDown, like, they can still, reunite, since it's all dual brand pay-per-views. They can still, reunite with, like, the Shield. And that still also somewhat help also in my idea for the brands for having competition in the brands also. So it could, like, at least make things a little bit more interesting also. But that's just a thought I had. Like, I think it leads to, like, a match like that for SummerSlam where Dean Ambrose can officially turn heel. But that's just, like, a thought I have. But the match that Rollins and Balor had tonight was great. And I do kind of hope they do, like, maybe go with that take. It could at least help elevate, Finn Balor, getting back up to his main event status, where he definitely should be after, he got his momentum caught by that injury. So the story's there. So let's see it happen. Miz just stares them down afterwards, and just holds up the title. Let's see what happens in the live chat. Let's see here. Mrs. Baby is a future WWE champion. Sure. Rox's guys, when Alexa and Mickey came out for the tag match, I totally forgot Dana Brooke was on the Raw roster. Oops. Yeah, I did too. Robbie, I just crunched the numbers and I agree with you. Good thinking, Mike. Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely good stuff in the live chat, Mike. I mean, Mike, you gotta tell I'm completely out of it tonight. But yeah, definitely I agree with the stuff you guys say there. We had commentary hyping up for the Honor Giant Battle. Well, okay, the pre-show match for main official is going to be the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the Women's Battle Royal, and the Cruiserweight title match, which, on a plus side, people are saying, despite it being on the pre-show, at least they'll probably get more time on it than they would get on the main show, which I do agree. So I'll at least, like, definitely pay attention to the pre-show on Sunday for that match alone, the Cruiserweight title match. I mean, I'll usually, like before I get together with the guys, usually if I'm here and I have nothing else going on, like, I'll just, like, put the pre-show on, but not really pay attention to it, just have something on in the background. So just, just take a peek and see what happens with the matches. But I'll definitely want to watch the Cruiserweight title match from Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. We got video packages about Lesnar's year-long title reign and his feud with Reigns, even though, again, I still feel like Lesnar having a year-long title reign feels completely pointless. Then we have a backstage segment with Heyman on the phone talking to someone about the Brocktagon. probably just hyping up Brock going back to UFC or something like that. And Kurt comes up to him and tells him the most important thing tonight is that the WrestleMania main event stays intact. And Paul agrees to do it his way tonight, no stress tonight, and save the in-ring for WrestleMania. But Kurt says he just wants to make sure Roman doesn't hurt Brock. And that sends Paul like laughing, like, really? And Angle confirms that he's worried about and asks Heyman to keep it civil and pretty much just don't say anything that's going to make Roman snap. So it's like, okay, since when, no offense, but you're it again, like, I keep saying, I'm, looking forward to this match for what it is, aside from the whole, Roman Reigns controversy. Again, I keep saying with everybody, is tired of seeing Roman get in the main event, which I do agree. I do still think him. I mean, yes, it is somewhat thing that yes, him and Brock technically do have unfinished business based on what happened, at WrestleMania 31 with Seth Rollins cashing in. But it's the fact that they do continue to just book Roman in a way that has the WWE saying, "Screw you, this is how we're going to be doing this," as I keep saying. But just I didn't like in the promo how pretty much Kurt makes it seem like that Roman can hurt Brock. I mean, yes, he may take off Roman and cause a brawl to happen in the ring, but why would Kurt be acting so confident that Roman could take out Brock? Honestly, it just to me just it's gonna bother a lot of fans. I keep saying, I'm not going to let this, just ruin my WrestleMania experience. This whole fact that Roman Reigns is getting the main event again. But I know that, saying stuff like that is going to continue just to irk the fans and not care about the match. And it just shows them that the WWE is still, pushing buttons with the fans. So that kind of left me okay, guys, come on now. Don't start this stuff. So I wasn't quite a fan of that happening. But then we have the Bar come out, and Sheamus called Braun out and says he needs to listen. Cesaro says they don't care who his partner is, and Sheamus agrees. And Cesaro says that as big and strong as he is, it's still a tag team match, and sooner or later he has to tag his partner in, and they have to be on the same page, because if not, they have to have a plan, B to E or whatever. And no matter how many chooses, he'll never have that, because Braun just cares about himself. Braun makes his way out. He tells them from the ramp that they're trying to say he doesn't play well with others, and, they're right, he doesn't really, but management has made it clear that he has to have a partner to challenge for the tag titles, so he did get one, and he's going to bring him right out there, and he's going to have a match with one of them. So he goes to the back, and then we hear the roar again. And Braun came out, though, but he came out with a white shirt on and glasses, and he introduces himself as Braun's brother, Braun Strowman. He's going to knock theirs out of their head, their brains out pretty much. And then Braun gets in the ring and takes the gear off and just revealing that it still is him. And the Bar goes to attack them, but he just fends them off. And he just starts jawing at them. So we're going to be waiting until WrestleMania to see who Braun's partner is going to be. I'm still thinking, it could be, Elias. Well, it's probably not going to be Elias, because he's going to be having a musical segment at WrestleMania, as we already talked about. I still think there's a chance it could be Samoa Joe. Even though I've heard rumors that Samoa Joe and Roman could be feuding after WrestleMania, which again, will be fine to give Roman something to do until Finn Balor's ready to challenge him for the, maybe not for the Universal title. For the Universal title in that tag match, and maybe see they move the Universal title over to Raw, to SmackDown or something. We'll see what they do there, and but I'm still starting to lean a little bit towards Big Cass, though, because I feel what if it still bothers me a little bit, though, that they pretty much have just given Braun a consolation prize to the tag title hunt, because why do they keep creating these random tag teams of guys who deserve more than just tag titles and should be world champion, like Braun Strowman, but he's not going to be world champion. But what if it's Big Cass and Braun teaming up, and it does lead to when they drop the tag titles, a feud between Braun Strowman and Big Cass. I think Big Cass and Big Show probably could have done something better if Enzo didn't get involved. aside from Enzo being involved in the feud, like, I was cool with the promos that Big Cass was cutting. So my thing was, you could, like, have that happen and have like Braun Strowman and Big Cass. I think give them a chance to maybe see if they can both bring like the best out of each other and whatnot whenever they have a feud. It's just an idea I just thought of, like, long-term booking down the line. Because Braun Strowman's not going to be a tag team champion forever, honestly. He deserves to be world champion, but this to me feels like a consolation prize. But in the long term, until we can get to the next year's WrestleMania, it can at least, help build each other up. Braun Strowman and Big Cass. So that's why I'm going to stick with that prediction and say Braun's mystery tag team partner will be Big Cass at WrestleMania. Plus, also give him kind of fill that moment for Big Cass, as last year. Like, I still feel that tag match last year where the Hardy Boys returned and won, that was Big Cass's and Enzo's to win. So hopefully this at least, get them to feel better from last year. Let's see here. Cruiserweight Finals should be on the main show. I agree. Remember last year's Mania, Aries versus Neville stole the show on the pre-show. Oh, they definitely did. That's right. King Cooper's hoping it's going to be Bobby Lashley. I wouldn't mind being Bobby Lashley either at all. That's awesome. I did hear a rumor, though, that Bobby Lashley may appear in the match between Lesnar and Reigns to cause interference to start the feud with Brock. I don't want to see that. To me, with Roman and Brock, just do the match, clean finish. You won't have a reason for it to happen again. Honestly, don't do it again. The main Mania should have been Cena versus Braun. I would have been fine with that as well. I mean, Braun and Cena have had a couple of encounters, but I feel like, they did have like a kind of like, a decision when Braun pinned Cena inside the Elimination Chamber, but like one-on-one, it's more so been just, more of like an angle. So I wouldn't mind seeing them have a match at WrestleMania at all. So that was still a good idea. And then we get now here's something I actually kind of did enjoy that probably people think it's like, not as good as people thought it should be, because who the person is, they don't really care that much anymore. But we had another director's cut promo from Goldust. Haven't seen those since like SummerSlam, I think, which I kept saying, like, last year when Goldust first turned heel and split up from Golden Truth, like, I was digging those director's cut promos. And we got one with Goldust quoting one of Andre's lines from The Princess Bride and pledging to win the Battle Royale in memory of Andre the Giant, and put hands on the golden statue of Andre. Then HBO has to make a documentary on him and no one will ever get his name. But then Woken Matt Hardy, just appears and says he seeks the same prize as Goldust, and pretty much just setting up for a match between the two of them where he will delete Goldust. Match was what it was, but I'll be really, again, I can always continue to say I feel as Goldust is really underrated, and they could, the promos with him and R-Truth, again, despite the matches they had being so flat, I wouldn't mind trying to take that same approach again and seeing what him and Matt Hardy can do. I mean, again, the problem I've had with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal so far is that it just hasn't really elevated anyone's careers. Cesaro, it kind of gave him a little bit more attention, but the problem was apparently that, they stuck it with Paul Heyman because apparently they were looking for an excuse to keep Paul Heyman on television, to keep selling the fact that that his client, Brock Lesnar, conquered the Undertaker streak. So because of that, they didn't they stuck Cesaro with him just to have an excuse for Heyman to come back, to be still on the show while Brock was on hiatus. And then when Brock's ready to come back, they just split them up for no reason, which, kind of set Cesaro in a little bit like a drop for a while. I mean, he's still done fine since then. It's just that he definitely deserves to be, in the main event of WrestleMania, pretty much, to give him the opportunity to fight for the world title. But I definitely wouldn't mind seeing, if anybody, I would say, if Goldberg does not, the rumor about Goldberg participating in the Andre the Giant and his winning, I'd be like, cool, whatever. I guess if you're not going to give it to someone and build up their, have them benefit from it, and I'd say just make it into more of like a celebrity battle royal, have somebody win it there, just be like, hey, it was cool to see this person again, what. But I'd say if I could pick someone on the active roster, I think maybe take a shot with Woken Matt Hardy and see what he can do. And they can do a few with Matt Hardy and Goldust after WrestleMania. I think that could be definitely interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing what they can do. I think you say Goldust is still I think he still got like the promo skills. He's very underrated, so why not take a stab at it and see what they can do. Yes, definitely interesting idea. Thank you for the endorsement, T and Couponer. And then we had a handy cam promo with Alexa Mickey James where they run down just mock Nia Jax for her looks, for having feelings, and toss a fat joke or two in there for good measure. Just kind of remind me a little bit of stuff with Piggy James and whatnot. Yeah. But then we have John Cena making his way out to the arena. He starts off saying he hates saying it, but he was wrong. We're out of time and still no answers, so he was wrong. Since we have no more time left, silence means no Undertaker. He basically was saying at first, like he's accepted, Taker's not showing up, and he says, wait a minute, we haven't tried, trying to get Taker to come out here in Atlanta. It did not work. So he's pretty much saying he's gonna be accepting that he's gonna be a fan because calling out Taker was his last chance. He did everything he could to stir up the pot, and we all did on social media. And then he knows that things are different. For in his life right now, there's a lot outside, but this is seriously, he's not probably not gonna have a match at WrestleMania this year. He just mentions how he was happy to have the great moment he had a year ago when he proposed Nikki Bella. He endorsed Daniel Bryan being back where he belongs in the ring. He gets AJ Styles to perform as champion. He knows that deserves. He's even proud that WrestleMania is on Rusev Day, and he probably see Elias. And he knows what WWE stands for, just endorsing all these talents. But he wants to take a second to apologize to The Undertaker and say he did everything he could to get him into the ring. Into the ring, and he realizes he didn't really try to get the crowd in Atlanta. Of course, to some of that's when he starts, trying to hype up the crowd for Atlanta. But he first just calls out Taker again, saying that you can say no, you cannot ignore me, but you can't ignore these fans, people who they want to see you. People have been cheering for him to come out and pouring their hearts out for him for 4 weeks, and he doesn't have the common decency to do a thing at all. He's not upset about me, but he's upset for ignoring the people. He's a dead man walking. Cena says it's obvious that Taker left his hat in the ring, but it's clear to everyone that he left his balls home. Still nothing. And then Cena sets down the mic and he leaves. We're waiting, maybe Taker will show up, but no, Taker did not show up. And I am, again, I said it before, we need a story, which we got it. But again, I'm just hoping if Taker does show up at Mania still, that he is healthy enough to wrestle. That's the only thing I'm concerned about is his health. Because, just hearing that last year, past couple years, he's had to inject himself with painkillers. Does kind of concern me. So, I mean, I don't expect much if Taker does show up. I feel like it may be a little bit of more so an angle for Sunday. Because there's no doubt about it, this has to be it for Taker, definitely. But I do like how WWE is leaving in doubt with two surprises again with Braun's tag partner and whether Taker's going to show up for Mania or not this Sunday. I think because they've done stuff recently. They announced that Kurt Angle's return to the ring before the pay-per-view itself even happened. They announced they didn't keep Daniel Bryan returning to the ring as a surprise. They just announced it, so I'm glad that WWE is at least making an attempt to still surprise us at WrestleMania, leaving us intrigued and wanting to see what happens there. So we'll see what happens. And honestly, I think this should be the ending of the show for Mania. Cena and Taker. If Taker's gonna come out and not do much at all, how are you gonna be able to follow that up? It's gonna be the official, swan song, the official, like last year, Undertaker was it just showed Undertaker was, struggling, but he needs one more big moment to go out on. Like this is like, like that closure that the fans need. So I honestly think that that's gonna be the best way to close out the show. Cena coming back out saying, I'm giving you one more, coming out after the main event, well, after Brock and Roman pretty much just calling out Taker saying, I'm giving you one more chance, Taker. It's the end of the show. You can do something and give yourself one more moment or whatnot, or you can just continue to say no to these fans like you do and just and be forgotten. And Cena did make the evil, the American badass biker gimmick reference in his promo as well. So like we could be seeing him return as just a regular man, just beat down on Cena again. This is probably going to be more so just like a segment rather than an actual match. But either way, this has to end the show. This is going to be the WWE fans just getting that official closer. Not closer, I think in baseball terms, closure that Taker is definitely done. And not leaving us in doubt, just wondering what the heck's going on after what happened last year when he just left his dead man gear in the ring. But that was the promo for that. Let's see here. What if Goldust wins the Andre Giant Royal Battle Royal and makes one last good run? Again, I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. Taker should have retired after the match with Triple H in Hell in a Cell at Mania. I agree. That could have been a good time. Because since then, he's only really had one like really good match, and that was at WrestleMania 29 with CM Punk. 30, I think 30 he looked his worst, honestly. 31's match with Bray Wyatt was decent. I'll give it to him. I'd say since WrestleMania, since the end of an era, WrestleMania 28, I'd say his match with Punk was the best, and I'd say second would definitely have to be his match with Bray Wyatt. But that's saying a lot because then 32 with Shane was okay, but the story was just weird. 30 he just looked bad, and last year's was just plain old hard to watch. It was just sad to watch that match. That was just emotional to watch. So let's see what happens on Sunday if Taker does show up or not. But this definitely needs to be it. This has to be it. Then we have Roman Reigns hanging out in a locker room, and Kurt rolls up and tells him that he's already lost one WrestleMania match in Cena and Taker. He doesn't want Roman losing him another. He tells him about his meeting with Heyman earlier, and Reigns is skeptical. He gets Kurt to confirm that Brock is here and says he's not going anywhere because he has a ton of respect for Angle and he'll hear Heyman out. But because of the years of disrespect Brock has given him in the locker room, he says if Heyman says something stupid, he's going to head out and take care of it. In fact, why not? This is a good line by Reigns. In fact, why not run his peace treaty back to the pawn shop where he sold his Olympic gold medals? Like Reigns is like, I do not care at all. I'm out there to kill Brock Lesnar. Just teach this man a lesson for all the disrespect he's done to us over the past 6 years or whatnot, just being a part-timer, just showing up whenever he wants. And make a statement that, someone who works their butts off, like most of the guys in this locker room, should be being Universal Champion, not him. Which is, again, pretty much true. Can't help but still, want to see Reigns win this match. Elias is in the ring getting ready to sing a song, his usual intro and whatnot. He just trashes on Atlanta and pretty much just mentions that he'll be doing some type of musical performance at WrestleMania, which hoping The Rock shows up. Kevin, that could probably at least be something good for The Rock to show up for, have like a moment, like a moment with Elias in the ring as well. And then Slater and Rhino cut him off. He wins the match against Heath. It was what it was. And then we had Braun Strowman backstage running into Kurt Hawkins, who's wearing a shirt that says "Pick Me, Braun." Hawkins pitches why he should pick him as his tag partner since Braun can't always be around. Since Braun Strowman can't be around, Braun asks him if his wins-loss record. He says he tries to avoid that question. And then Braun says, "I'll give you your big break." And he takes Hawkins and just throws him through the wall. It's like, see you later, Kurt. But yeah, it was just seeing Braun just cause some mass destruction. Just, because Braun Strowman, not even though he's been like a monster, but him, becoming a babyface has allowed him to at least bring out more of it's proved us that he's not like, Gallows and Anderson, who cannot do comedy for crap. Braun Strowman is successful at doing, commentary and just entertaining us, whether it's, on the mic and whatnot. And heck, he probably could have taken Kurt saying, "This is how angry I am for not being able to put the moves on Alexa Bliss in the mixed match challenge." Pow! But yeah, that was fun to see. And then we had an interview with Nia Jax. She's talking about who she is and who she isn't, and what she's capable of. She's been really disappointed in herself for trusting someone and letting Alexa force her to doubt herself. She recounts some of the ways that Alexa insulted her and says those comments took a toll on her, but she's looked at herself in the mirror, reminded herself that she's Nia Jax. She doesn't take shit. She's strong and confident and loves who she is. This is how God made her, what her mama gave her, and she's proud of who she is and what she's accomplished. She has something to say to Alexa, and she's nothing but an insecure little girl. At WrestleMania, she's going to squash her like a bug, which is pretty much true. Alexa's going to get squashed by Nia Jax. I mean, this promo wasn't too bad. I just hope, again, with Nia being a face, she's not a complete, sweet, gentle person. Like, she still needs to be like that monster that WWE just has not allowed her just to fully go all out on since coming to the main roster. They need to allow her just, at least just go out and literally just go out there to destroy people, but booking her in a way where we want to see her just destroy somebody. Don't be like so, easygoing good girl. Just have her be someone who, we just enjoy her. Just be the female Braun Strowman, pretty much. Again, other than that, the promo was so fine. Again, the only thing I haven't liked about this build for this match is the fact that, they pretty much just gave Nia a title opportunity because Alexa hurt her feelings. Kind of bland. But yeah, so then we had a match. It was Alexa Bliss and Mickie James taking on a team of Asuka and Dana Brooke. Why was Dana Brooke in this match? Why did she get most of the offense? Why is Asuka still competing in matches on Raw, even though she's challenging for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship? Well, I guess she's technically still on Raw. She had to go to SmackDown if she won the SmackDown Women's Championship. But yeah, the match was, whatever. Asuka got Mickie James to tap out, but then they're attacking Asuka after the match. Again, why? What heat do they have on Asuka at this point now? Just act like sore losers. But then Nia comes running out, and then Bliss tries to run away, but then Nia just lays out Mickie saying, "No, looks like this is what I'm going to do to you." And then we have Brock and Heyman come to Kurt, who begs him to remember what they spoke about. And Paul promises to keep it positive, and they carry on, and we get hyped for the mixed match challenge. And then we get this segment involving Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. And then we see a number of members of the Raw just blocking off the ramps. That way Roman can't get out there to try to kill Brock Lesnar, as Kurt said he thinks that Roman's going to do. Paul gets his usual introduction, but he calls Angle out for being an effective mentor for Ronda Rousey, criticizing a solution to the Roman Reigns problem, and says he has no control. Paul raised his hand and swears that he's going to tell the whole truth. Last time WrestleMania was in New Orleans, Lesnar beat The Undertaker and ended his streak, and he said that wasn't predictable. It was a spoiler. What happened? It happened. And in 6 days from now, WrestleMania, only two beings on the planet that hold a WrestleMania victory over The Undertaker will collide in the main event, which I'm glad is the only time they mentioned that, because they want this feud to be just about just that. Everybody acts like it's a failed accomplishment that Roman's destiny is to dethrone Brock, and if that's a spoiler, to be blunt, tell you the truth, you have to be impressed with and respect Reigns, but the truth is on Sunday, Brock will F5 Roman and pin him in the center of the ring. 1, 2, 3. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. The unfortunate truth in life is that there are acts of God, and if Brock blows out his knee or slips on a banana peel and Roman wins the title, this is the last time you'll ever see Heyman and Lesnar on Monday Night Raw. He'll save his goodbyes for his own personal social media, but since Brock will say hello to you from UFC, he wants to say something a little out of character for Brock, pretty much. This whole mistake he's created in 2002, where he looks at the locker room and thinks none of them can shine his boots. That Lesnar chooses who he fights on his own terms. The whole image is 100% true. And as a matter of fact, it's understated. Brock thinks there is not a single member on the locker room that can hold his jock, and not one person watching can afford to pay him what they think he's worth to do this thing in his prime. This Sunday, Roman has only choices to accept defeat. It's easy to make choices when you have no options, and his options are like his ass, both owned by Brock Lesnar. Roman's going to have to go home Sunday to his wife and kids and his whole family since he got beaten and conquered by Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns isn't the big dog, and this isn't his heart. He's just another notch on Lesnar's title belt. The truth is, Paul pretty much says that Roman is just Brock's bitch. And then Roman came out, and of course, the superstars got in front of him, bringing him into the ring, and he asked them if they're going to protect this part timer. Think about it, and they move out of the way, and then they get into the ring. Brock grabs a chair. They just circle each other, and then Brock goes to him with a chair, and then Roman's Superman punches him like 4 or 5 times before, and then he goes to pick up the Universal title and holds it up, and then Brock picks him up and hits an F5 on him, and that's how we ended Raw. We'd like to see a little bit more, but heck of a lot better than the tug of war we got a few years ago. But in some ways, it at least has shown Roman never really has definitely beaten Brock. He gave him a good fight at WrestleMania 31. That, again, aside from Seth cashing in, I still think if that didn't even happen, I would have been happy with how that match went. But they're mentioning how like the F5 is going to take down Roman. They've been doing this whole thing to keep the F5 going. Here's the thing. I would not mind seeing Roman kick out of an F5 if they're going to really sell this match. But what I know will hurt this match is if Roman does kick out of a ton of F5s. It's going to feel like what happened with Cena and Rock at WrestleMania 29. That's the thing I'm worried about. I know these two can put on a great match. I see it in them. But one, will Brock even care? And two, they got to make it look like Roman really does have to, go through a lot to take out Brock. They have unfinished business. It's again, settle it. No outside interference, no cash-ins, no nobody else interfering in this match. Just tell a good story here. Again, the build has been much better for WrestleMania 31. There's been a few times here and there. It's like, okay, guys, you really are acting like you're going out of your way to just make us like Reigns doing the same old spew because you're just trying to push them down our throats. Which again, as I keep saying, Roman Reigns is a great talent. But I understand why people still, continue to hate on him and not happy with this match because, yes, you did finally slow down on him for the past year or so. But as soon as that Elimination Chamber match came around, boom, you just started him in there like, he was meant to be in this match the way it is. I get it. Braun Strowman was the true hero of the Elimination Chamber match. He should be the one facing Brock. But, I give credit that WWE has Roman has at least improved. I think him and Brock, again, could put on a good match, but don't have him kick out of so many F5s. Like, maybe one. I'll give an exception for one. But make it look like Roman really has to earn and beat down Brock. It looked like WrestleMania 31, he was going to have him, but it didn't happen. I'd say go with that, and I'll be just fine. Just put on a good match, and everything will be just fine on Sunday. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I kind of it was like we just went through this whole show again. I just mainly just watched the highlights because again, I was out tonight visiting friends, and I'm extremely tired. But I didn't want to put off this review until tomorrow morning. I want to thank Robbie and T and Couponer for participating in the live chat. Speaking of which, before I go off the air, let me just see if there's anything else in the live chat. Last year's Taker match in Mania reminds me of the ending of Old Yeller. Oh, don't make me cry. That was such a sad movie to watch. I like Braun's babyface run so far. He has so much character. Exactly. Like that's what makes Braun a successful babyface though, is that he's entertaining also. Like, there's some people big like monsters who are meant to be like, entertainers, but Braun like knocks it out of the park, and that's why he's successful as a babyface. Because people love him and want to see him destroy them, and he makes it fun. Like I'm hoping they do the same thing with Nia Jax. I think Nia gets DQ'd. Then Carmella cashes in on Bliss for the title. Beat instead to be. But yeah, I think I still think we're going to see Carmella attempt to cash in. I hear the rumors of her failing to cash in. I would hate this. I mean, I do think they could have done. She's done all right as Miss Money in the Bank. They could have done a little bit more with her, but I don't want to see both Money in the Bank winners fail their cash in. If Carmella's going to cash, just let her win the belt. Just do it. That's all I gotta ask for. But yeah, guys, again, I do apologize. Again, I was just really tired tonight. 11 votes on my Twitter poll. What grade would you give Raw? 18% said A, 18% said B, 36% said C, and 28% said D. Again, as I said at the beginning of this review, I expected it better for a go-home show, but for what it was still decent. I'll give tonight's Raw a C+. What are your guys' thoughts on tonight's episode of Raw? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, make sure to click my like and subscribe for content on this channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. Tomorrow night, also, I probably will be getting to my SmackDown review a little late because I am actually going to be going up to like right up the street from like up the highway from me with my good friend Daniel Gaiza, and we're going to be seeing Chris Jericho live with Fozzy. So that's tomorrow night. So I will not be able to see SmackDown live right away, but I will review it after I watch the highlights when I get home. So that's tomorrow night. Wednesday is going to be my NXT live review. I'll be doing Road to WrestleMania episode 31, which is pretty much just a preview and predictions for TakeOver New Orleans and WrestleMania 34, like just predictions there. I'll do my usual top 10 topics, more so just talking about other stuff like, outside of WrestleMania, more so stuff I'm predicting to happen after WrestleMania. I still plan on doing the 2 live streams. The first one is going to be the WrestleMania top 10 hidden gems that Robbie wanted to do with me. We've had some streaming issues when we try to collaborate. And of course, Friday, during the Hall of Fame ceremony, while I'm watching that, I will do my live Q&A. Saturday, I will do live reactions of the Gargano and Ciampa match, and I'll do a live review for TakeOver, not Brooklyn, TakeOver New Orleans. Sunday, I might be doing a live review with Daniel Gaiza, but I will also, either that night or first thing in tomorrow morning, I will try to do my own live review also. That way I can still get all my thoughts out, because I don't mind doing like a video collaborations with my other YouTube friends, but sometimes I'll get all my thoughts out. So I'll still do my own live review of WrestleMania 34, even if I do a review with Dan or not. But that is pretty much the plan for the week, guys. A lot to come this channel this week. It's going to be busy, but it's going to be a fun week. I'm still excited for WrestleMania 34, despite the fact that this go-home show didn't quite, hit the highest note I hoped for. But I do give credit that Raw, for the most part, did a very good job this year building up these matches for WrestleMania 34. Team Kumar says, Mike, have a good night. Have fun with Fozzy. Definitely. I'll try to share some stuff on Twitter. If it follows me on Instagram or Facebook or anything else, I'll try to share photos and some videos on there as well. Should be a lot of fun. I will maybe take the list with me also and hold up support Jericho. Maybe wear my You Just Made the List t-shirt also. But thank you again, TM Couponer and Robbie, for keeping me for keeping up in the live chat also, guys. I'll be live tomorrow to talk about SmackDown. But yeah, guys, again, click the like, subscribe, more content, come to the channel. Your thoughts about raw.com section below. Give it a C+ again. If I'm tired, guys, I'm going to bed. So I'll catch you guys all later on. So till then, guys, have a good night. Peace out.